What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Big Helmet Heroes, a new 3D beat-em-up adventure game developed by Exalted Studios and published by Dear Villagers. This game was made in Unreal Engine 5, and in it you're tasked with finding 29 different heroes that are hidden in golden cages across different levels to save a princess. The game's price, it comes in at $24.99, and it's for Xbox Series X, PS5, Switch, and PC. The size, I was playing it on Xbox, the size comes in right about 4.5 gigabytes. So yeah, let's get right into it. I captured the gameplay that you'll see on Xbox Series X, and if you played beat-em-up games, you know that you'll be pressing probably the same buttons over and over again. In this particular game, the attack buttons in the tutorial told me that it was X and Y, X for a light attack and Y for a heavy attack. Jump was A and dodge was right bumper, but most of the time I was just pressing mashing the attack buttons. I chose medium difficulty to play on just for the first playthrough, and it's been a while since I've played a beat 'em up game, and it felt pretty easy. I want to see what it's like, if I'm going to play it again, I want to see what it's like on hard difficulty. But it did get a little bit more challenging as I progressed through the levels. There's a total of 20 levels, and what I did is I played the first 10. There's hand-drawn cutscenes, which are a good break from the gameplay. And from this, though, nothing really made me feel like I was progressing through, a narrative-driven storyline. I didn't, there wasn't really any text or anything happening in the cutscenes that I guess made me feel like I was getting closer to rescuing a princess or anything. But I mean, that's okay. It's a beat 'em up game. I just want to beat up the enemies and move on, The game does a good job with its environment design, as each level that I went through, it looked stunning in different ways. And they make a great use of different camera angles to make you feel like when you're going through these levels, or these environments, that it's very immersive as you go through. I think there was actually one point where I went through a doorway or across a bridge, and there was a small little hidden area above me where two unicorns were talking, and it was kind of like this animation loop. I thought that was funny. This is a couch co-op game too, so you can fight side by side with your friends. It's unfortunately, though, it's not online co-op. It's just couch, local co-op. But again, that's okay. If I didn't know any better, honestly, I would say that the main objective of this game is to just pet sheep. There are a lot of neglected sheep in this game, okay? And all they want is your love and affection.
Love me. Love me. Love me. Love me!
Okay? So when you go up and you pet a sheep, you'll get that little heart icon, and they'll make, a little sound letting you know that, hey, thanks for petting me. And then they drop you flowers, okay? When you fill the pink bar, or your flower bar, right, you get basically, I'd say, a Fortnite loot box. Yeah, I said it. You get a supply drop, okay? And in it, there's items that you probably don't need, okay? Because the game is very generous, and not only do you fill your flower bar, that pink bar, quickly, but also your superpower bar goes up pretty quick. Okay, so each hero you rescue, they're going to be named, you'll notice, after the power they possess. So again, this bar, it fills up very, very quickly. So if you do play this, you wouldn't want to be shy of using that awesome superpower that hero possesses. There's a variety of enemies in the game, which is pretty good. But the only thing making the bigger enemies, or even the bosses, I would say, a little more challenging is their overall health. They're not really, giving out, some devastating attack or something that, you as the player, don't feel like you can't handle. And even in the boss fights, sure, I got damaged a lot, but I just swapped to another hero, and when you swap to another hero, the hero that you originally had is getting health when you pick up health, and they're just regenning their health, so that way when you do need to switch back, if the hero you're playing as now gets low, you can just keep switching back. So I mean, really, you shouldn't die that much, even in a boss fight. There were a couple of bugs that I noticed. The game crashed once for me. Just one time. I think it was in level 5. Not a big deal. There were some enemies that got stuck off screen a couple of times, not allowing me to continue the level. And then some items or pickups wouldn't allow me to pick them up. There was one, superpower canister that I wanted to pick up, and it seemed like it was just kind of stuck on the wall. I couldn't pick it up no matter how many times I went by it or jumped over it or anything like that. But again, I mean, not things that would deter me from playing the game. Probably something that, because this game came out 2 days ago, when I post this video, it might be longer, but the game just came out. And probably with one quality of life update, they could fix these things, and none of these things would be an issue. So as we said, the game is made with Unreal Engine 5, and if you played, Fortnite or anything newer with UE5, it's hard to not make a visually stunning game using this engine. The most fun characters for me would probably be the samurai characters. Simply probably because they just attack really quickly, and it makes it easier to get rid of the enemies that you're fighting, just because you get overwhelmed. In the beat-em-up games, if you're familiar with beat-em-up games, you get overwhelmed very quickly. Maybe not so much as you would in, say, if you're playing Doom, right? But you do get a lot of enemies on screen at a time, and some character or a hero in this instance that has the ability to attack faster, or a superpower that allows you to, say, slow down time or something like that, like one of the characters has in this game, it certainly makes it easier for you. There's a cartoon style approach, as you can see, and again with the hand-drawn cutscenes, I think that's a really nice touch. And again, they do a really good job of using the camera angle to show off the environments. I mean, sure, in these games, it's a 3D beat 'em up game. So, I mean, in the environment, there's going to be places or areas where you think that you can go and you can't. Or areas that, maybe it's the other way around, where you think that you can't go down under a bridge, but you can, and you kind of lose your character on the screen a little bit if you go behind a doorway or something like that. But again, it's not something to where if you do lose your character, it's pretty easy to get him back. The music is overall, pretty pleasing. And the sound of the weapons and the enemies as you go through is pretty well done. There are a ton of different weapons to pick up and play with. For instance, picking up the guitar, right, or a bowling pin, and hitting enemies with it is really, really satisfying. Just hearing that sound over and over again, or even when you're hitting them with the guitar, it doesn't make the exact same sound every time, and I thought that was a nice touch, nice attention to detail there. The crowd, when they come up on the screen and they're cheering you on, which I noticed they seem to come up when you're building that combo up, they come up on the screen 10, 15, and then once you get up to, times 25, times 30, they're coming up again. And they just keep coming up as you build up that combo. And when they cheer you on, that's pretty cool. That's a nice touch. So overall, I think this is a great game. I loved Castle Crashers. Castle Crashers was a lot of fun. It would be super cool to get a Castle Crashers 2, but I doubt it, so we'll stick with this, Big Helmet Heroes. I think a lot of studios, and I wanted to hit on this because, this is just a game that they're not trying to overcomplicate anything, right? And I think a lot of game studios today are trying to overcomplicate games, just making them not fun to play. And overall, I think that's what matters, is just, the game is fun to play. I think that's why Astrobot won Game of the Year, because it did a lot of great things, and it was just fun. It was fun to play. You could sit down and play that game and just have fun. I mean, even when you die or mess up, it was still just a fun game. And again, that's what it's about. We just want to experience these works of art that these developers take, hours and weeks and sometimes years to develop. And again, that's what it's about. Yes, there's some bugs, but it wasn't enough to keep me from not enjoying the experience that I had with the game. And the bugs were very seldom. So overall, I think I'm giving Big Helmet Heroes an 8 out of 10. It's a very fun game that, like I said, it's not trying to be anything else except a well-designed, fun-to-play, action-adventure beat-em-up game. My only gripe would be for there to be, say, online co-op. I know it's couch and, local co-op, but, I mean, I think today, it's 2025, I think a game like this should definitely be online co-op. I think it would do really well there. And I'd say maybe one more thing, the side activities in some of the levels that I had to do were fun, which made me just want more of them. There was one activity that I did where I was trying to repair windows to unveil a hero, and I thought that was great. A little side activity to do to take up some time, and it was excellent. So yes, there could be a little bit more added, but overall, 8 out of 10. I would just be worried about the replayability as you go through, because you're not leveling up like you did in Castle Crashers. You're not doing anything like that. So I think I would go through one time through all the 20 levels. And the only thing that would make me want to maybe go back through again is if I didn't unlock everything. I just want to unlock all the heroes. But outside of that, I would be worried about the replayability value, as you're not leveling up or really involved in any type of progression system. So, yeah. Well, guys, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.